Hi guys, welcome to our live show. I'm here. Just like I promised, I was gonna do a live show today in the afternoon, 12 to 8 p.m. here in the US. So I'm gonna give you some time to join me. And if you're there, please type your name and I will acknowledge you here in a little bit. And please tell me if my internet is doing fine. Because I can see an eye there. I'm trying to I'm trying to work on it, guys. I'm still here. So I hope one person, I'm going to give it a few minutes. And I'm going to talk about some of the mistakes that we see when we are doing the DV 2024. So I'm going to give it a few minutes, guys, just to wait for people to come on. And then I'm going to go on with the questions. I hope you can see me. I think I need to customize this thing. I hope you can see me. 3 people there. I can see that. I hope you guys are doing fine. Let me customize our video so that it can be seen by everybody. There we go. So guys, I hope you're doing fine. I'm right here, 3 people. Gonna give it a few more minutes. A few more minutes. A few more minutes. And if you have a question, please type it there. Please type your question there, and then we're going to talk about it. We will talk about it. We're going to talk about your question here in a little bit. Seven people trying to work on my video here. I hope you can see me, and please type your name. I'm going to acknowledge you here in a little bit. I see one comment here. Going to acknowledge you guys. It's 12 for 3 p.m. And we're going to talk about the numerous questions that you guys have asked, because there are many, guys. They are so many. So I have 1 hour to do this show. I see people are coming on. 12 or 3 p.m. I think I should go up to 12 or 5 so that everybody is here. Yeah, I see people are coming on now. And there are so many questions that have been asked by people. And we're going to talk about that. So tell me if you can see me properly. I hope my internet respects me. Oh my gosh. 12 people. Guys, thank you for supporting my YouTube channel. I really appreciate you guys. I do appreciate you guys. And we're going to talk about some of the things that you're facing when you're watching, when you're doing your application for the DV lottery. Of course, there were some people who are having challenges, and we're going to talk about those. And if you have a question, please type it there. Please type it there. 18 people. I see 18 people, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing and liking my video and sharing it with your friends. Like we said, we should share this information about application of the DV lottery. It's very, very, very important. Now, my name is Charity Nganga. This is Charity's Bubble USA. I like to start at 12 or 4 p.m. and I can see 20 people. Guys, please like my video, share it, share this information about DV lottery. So I did get so many questions, especially on the first day. And guys, thank you for helping me. That video has reached close to now 24,000 views. Guys, thank you for that. I really don't take that for granted. So some of the things that came up when people were doing the application is that some people were they were doing the application and then it was getting rejected. Like I said before, when the first application, like that day, it was very, 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 very congested because everybody is trying to do the application at that time. So you might get a hindrance. But that doesn't mean that you cannot go back and resubmit, because you only know that you have submitted your DV lottery successfully when you see the screen telling you success, and then you get your confirmation number. And remember, we said that the confirmation number, we are gonna save it until May. Okay, so let me acknowledge some people here. I'm forgetting that. So Daisy Lukolele, hope you're fine too. Thank you for joining me. Emmanuel Chelule, hello Charity, thank you for joining me. Keifa Katwarana, hello Charity, thank you for joining me. Tama Rachel, hello Charity, thank you for joining me. Hello Charity, good to see you. Shiko Waroe. And then Jared Mbula, hello Charity. And then Keifa is saying he's from Uganda, thank you for joining me. Michael Osimbo is saying hello Charity. Keifa is telling me that my video is clear. Thank you, guys. Hi, Charity. Miriam from Uganda here. I so much appreciate your efforts. Thank you for your support too. Was S. Nimle is saying, hello, Ma. Thanks for your help. Can you please help me with the application link to the DV Lottery 2024? Now, I need you to look at the banner that is going down there. There is the website here, https://dvprogram.state.gov. That is the website. So go type that on Google, and you're gonna go to the right website so that you can do your application. Now, Emmanuel Chelule is saying, hi Charity, is it wrong to edit the photo background? No, it's not wrong to edit the photo background, but remember, you cannot compress your video. You cannot compress your photo, because if you compress it, when you go to upload it on the photo tool, it detects the compression, and your photo is not nice, because so many people are having that problem. So what is compressing? Compressing means like you have your photo, you have it, but you want to minimize it. So when you minimize it, that is compressing. Remember, like we said, get your photo from someone who knows to do the DV lottery photos, so that you get that 2x2, and then make sure you are in a clear background, but you can edit the photo background. And I remember, if you watch my video on DV lottery photo, I have pulled out the website. It's called remove.bg, and there you can be able to change the background, but do not compress your photo. The background, yes, you can change, but compressing your photo, please don't do that, because that's going to bring you a mistake. And if you read the instructions, it says that the photo must be what they want. It must be what they want. And like I say, I normally like to say that this is not my information. I get this information from travel.state.gov, and you can still go there, Google that website, and see the right requirements. So it's very, very important that you have the accurate photo, Emmanuel. I cannot emphasize so much on that. Like, that one is a must, guys. Unless Uma is saying, hi, Charity. Waiting for answers in the last video. I'm gonna look at it, but if I miss it, because I have so many questions, please type it there, and I'm gonna talk about it, Ernest. Okay, Fred Makoha is asking me, what should one do if I have one children from a wife or a man who left to get remarried? Do you need his or her consent? Fred, so if you're normally, what I know is that when you get married to someone, it's like you take over, you adopt those kids. That's how I know. So most people normally do not say about that other person if they are not in the picture. But if that person is in the picture, remember, they count. And I like to tell you the US way, because here in the US, let's assume you are married to someone and then you divorced. That is not like the African way, or maybe let me say the Kenyan way, because I've lived in Kenya, whereby like when you part ways with a spouse, that person really doesn't care about kids. It's a little bit different here in the US, whereby even if you are divorced, normally what happens is that guy, if he had kids, he still comes to see them. And that's why most people do not understand. They don't understand. So if you go and tell them that this child, I got married with this child belonged to another man, I married my wife, and of course they will need a consent. You see, they will need a consent, because they do it the US system. So I hope that's going to help a little bit. Jeff Mochiri, thank you, Charity, watching from Kenya. Thank you for joining me. Fred Makoha, Fred from Kenya, thank you so much. And then we have Princess Momo. I want to fill the form, but for some reason, I'm still scared. Yet last year and a year before, I filled with a lot of confidence. Don't be scared. Like, what are you scared for? It's just a form. Fill it out. Get your confirmation and keep it and forget about it. You know what I say? Like, when we are done with filling out this DV lottery thing, forget about it and go on with your work. Go on with your life and then wait until May. Because life goes on after DV lottery. So you should not be scared. Just go ahead and do your DV lottery application. Okay. Kevin Gamber. Hello, Charity. Happy to see you. I've got this question. My aunt is a widow. She had the death certificate of her late husband. So my question is, will she fill up the late husband's name as a widow? No. Normally, when you click on the widow, it's not going to prompt you to add more information. But if you click that you are separated, it's going to prompt you to add the information of that separated spouse. So when she clicks that her husband has passed away, they don't need to put that information. It's the same thing like if you are pregnant, you do not need to include that information. Normally, what happens is that if they have a death certificate and it is needed, maybe because they entered there that their husband had died or they are a widow, then they would have that one. But you don't have to enter the information of someone who is not living in this earth. I think that's clear. Okay. So would you mind doing a demo kind application? If yes, can I be the lucky one? Share you my details maybe through email. Yeah, I can do a demo. I can do, but I'm not going to do it live here. I can do it as a video and then post it so that I try to like hide most of your information, especially the confirmation number and all that. So if you're so honest, you can send me a message on Messenger and then I will do it on a video, not on a live show here. And then I will be able to edit it very nicely so that I don't give out your information to the public. And then you can see it on the video. I can do that. I can do that for you. And if you want, by the way, I could pull up that website. Let me try and pull it up here. dvprogram.gov. But I am not going to be using anybody's information here. What I'm going to do is, let me see if I got the right website. No. Hold on. I want to pull out the website here and just program.state.gov. There. So what I'm doing here, I am going to pull out that website for you guys. I can see 27 people. I hope you are liking my video. And then I'm going to share it and try to go through it, guys, so that you guys can see. So let me share my video here. Share my screen, prompter here. There. So I need someone to type there and tell me if they can see it. I still see that there are so many questions there and I'm going to talk about them. But I need you guys, if you haven't done your application, you pay attention to this form because it's where you're going. dvprogram.state.gov. That's where I have gone and I have pulled out this website. So this is what you find. This is what you find when you go to that website. Let me make it a little bit bigger. I need someone to tell me if they can see it properly. I need someone to let me know if they can see it. There, type there and tell me if you can see it. Yeah, someone is saying, yes, I am seeing it. I tried to make it a little bit bigger. Someone is saying it's not clear. Let me see. I think I'm going to just try to make it a little bit bigger. I put it at like 175. So can you guys see it? Someone is saying they are seeing it. Yeah, it's visible. Someone is telling me it's visible. Now, when you go to this website, if you want to read the instructions, there are the instructions over here. DV 2024 instructions. There are photo examples here. So you can still, they still have all that information from there for you. And then you click here, the green part that says begin entry. So when you click the part that says begin entry, it's going to prompt you to put these numbers here. E is 6B, CB. And then you submit. When you submit, I hope you are together. you will find this stuff here. So your last family name, this is your dad's name. So I'm going to use mine, or maybe your husband's name if you're legally married and you have changed your name. So here I'm just going to use my name. And then your first name, if you do not have a first name, no first name, it has something here that is telling you no first name. So if you don't want to enter any first name, you click on that and make sure, and of course, when you click on that, it's not going to let you type. If you do not have a middle name, you click there and it's not going to let you type. But if you have all that, then you're going to put your first name. Now, my first name is Charity. See? And then your middle name is the name that you are given by your parents. There. So I put my last name, my first name, and my middle name. And then you're going to come to your gender, whether you are a male or a female, I'm going to enter female. And then you're going to enter your date of birth. I'm going to enter a date of birth here, but not my date of birth. I'm not going to tell you my date of birth. 1932. Maybe that's when I was born. And then it's going to tell you the city that you were born. Here, mine, I remember I put Kiambu. Okay? And then the country where you are born. When you come here to the country place, it's going to tell you to select a country. Now, this one, like I normally tell you guys, it has a drop down here. So the drop down, depending on where you are, you're going to, come on. Let's assume that you are in Kenya. Or let's assume you're in Kenya. Let's try in Kenya. We're going to try many countries here. There. Maybe you are in Kenya, you're going to enter there. Let's assume you are in Japan. You're going to enter there. Let's assume you are in Gabon. You're going to click on Gabon. Let's assume you are in Eritrea or Egypt or Chad. All the countries that qualify are there. So you put that. Now, are you claiming eligibility based on the country that you are born? The moment I clicked there, here, this yes automatically came on because I am claiming the country depending on where I was born. But let's assume you're from Nigeria. If you are from Nigeria, we know that Nigeria does not qualify, but maybe you're married to someone from Uganda and Uganda qualifies. There you're going to enter no, and then you will select the country for which you are claiming eligibility. I hope you understand that one. And then now this number 7, and there are some people who are still asking about the passport. This form doesn't have a passport it doesn't have any passport area. So the other one is going to be an entrant photograph. And like I said, save your photo on your computer, and then you're going to choose it. Here, choose new photo. If I click here on choose new photo, it's going to take me to my computer where I've saved my photos. And then I'm going to use that photo to put it over here. I don't know if I have a good photo, guys, because I never have good photos in my computer. I don't, and I don't want to put a wrong one. So you're going to enter your photo there. And then you're going to put your mailing address. Guys, now this one, don't write, you don't even have to write in care of, just leave it blank, and then you write an address. Maybe it's 1155, whatever. And then this one, like address line 2, don't fill anything there. That one is optional. Don't put anything. 11455, maybe Nairobi. And then if you live in maybe let's say, let me say Kayole. I used to live in Kayole, so I'm gonna say Kayole, and then I'm gonna say Nairobi because it's in Nairobi. So I'm making it very easy for you guys. And then you're gonna enter your postal code. Please don't think about the zip code, especially if you don't live here. Here in the US, we use zip code. So your postal code, if you are in Nairobi, you write 254, whatever. And then you're going to leave it like that. And if you don't know about the postal code, click here, no postal code or zip code. You'll be good. You'll be all right. Okay. And then you're going to select your country. So your country here, if it's Kenya, you're going to come here and you're going to select your country here, and they're going to enter it there. And then country where you live together. I hope that we are still together. I can see that 1 people are watching me, guys. I hope you're still together. Now, the country that you live today, let's assume you left Uganda, you live in Ethiopia, or you left Uganda, you live in Britain, or maybe you left Ethiopia and you live in the US, because there were some people who reached out to me and they were like, can we apply if we live in the US? Yes, you can. You can do your application, but remember, after you win, then that is going to be a different process. when you live in the US, and we can talk about that in a different video. So here, let's assume we moved from your country, wherever you are right now, and you went to live in France. That's what you're going to enter there, depending on the country that you're living right now. Let's assume that you left your country and you went to live in let me try another one, maybe in India, or maybe you live in the Middle East. That's what you're going to put there, guys. And then here, number 10 is your phone number. Now remember, your phone number is optional. You don't have to enter it there, but the email address is very, very important. Number 11, guys, put an email address that you know that you will not forget, and you know the password. And when you see the space for the email address, guys, it has two places for you to enter your information. So you're going to enter your email address here, and you're going to confirm it here. Remember, like, you have to have your password. You have to have all this information. And that's why I was saying, if someone is filling it out for you guys, please make sure that you know the email address that they enter there, and you are sure that you'll have access to that, because that email address is going to come into play when you win your DV lottery. So this one is very, very important. And then now let's go to this part, because this part, like, is really messing up so many people. So there is primary school only. If you went to primary school and you did not reach high school, you're going to click on there. And remember, their qualification for the DV lottery, the qualification is that you must have gone from like a 12 hours schooling, whereby you have gone to kindergarten, you have gone through primary school, and you have gone to high school. Okay, now that's a qualification. Or you have a job that qualifies, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Okay, now if you went to high school and you did not finish, you're going to enter high school and no degree. If you went to high school and you finished and you got a certificate or a degree or a diploma, I told you degree or diploma is it's a fancy word for that certificate. You're going to enter there. If you went to vocational school, you're going to enter vocational school. Maybe you did interior design, or maybe you did hairdressing, but you still have your high school degree, because they will ask for that one, guys, because that's important. So if you finished primary school only, or you went to high school a little bit and you went to vocational school, then there you will qualify as with work, and your work has to qualify with what they want, guys. I want you guys to be very, very clear on that. Now, let's assume you finished high school and right now you're in university, but you have not finished. You will click here that you're in the university, but you haven't finished. If you went to the university and you got your degree, you're going to enter there, university degree. Now, if you have your degree and you're going on to school and you have your graduate level courses, but you haven't yet gotten your master degree, you'll enter there. If you have a master degree, you're going to click on there. If you're still in school pursuing a doctorate level course, but you haven't graduated yet, you are going to click on here, some doctorate level courses. But of course, if you have a doctorate degree, you're going to click on there. Guys, don't be confused on here, because you have to enter what you are at this moment. At this moment, what are you doing when you're doing your application? That's what they want. Okay, so I hope that one is clear. Capiche? Okay, now if you are unmarried, please enter unmarried. And when I finish this one, I'm going to talk about that marriage thing once more, because it's a question that I was asked, and I was kind of challenged by that question. But I'm going to talk about it here in a little bit. Now, if you're married and your spouse is not a U.S. citizen or U.S. lawful permanent resident, now this one means like you're married and your spouse, maybe they have never come here, or even if they live here in the US, they don't have U.S. citizenship, or they didn't win a green card, or they did not get a green card in a different way. You're going to enter that one, and most people would fall on that one. Now, if you're married and your spouse is a U.S. citizen or U.S. permanent resident, you can click there, and it's not going to prompt you to add more information. If you're divorced and if you're widowed, we talked about being widowed. So when you enter this one, it's not going to prompt you to add more information when you enter that you're widowed. But if you are legally separated, it's going to ask you to enter your spouse's information. It will ask you that. Okay. Now, then you're going to come to the number of children. Now, guys, here, if I enter one child, it's going to give you an option to go for your one. I don't know if it's going to let me continue. No, it's not going to let me continue. I don't want to lose it. But I don't know if it's going to enter, make me continue. If it doesn't, it's fine, because I don't want to lose it. So, oh no, it's not going to let me because I haven't put in the photograph and I haven't finished out. But I was talking about the kids. So when you enter about your kids and you have put everything, guys, it's going to give you, if you put 4 children, it's going to open up a slot for 4 kids. If you have put 1 child, it's going to prompt you for 1 child. So I hope that's better. I hope that you guys understand that, because you really need to know how to fill out that form so that you can do it clearly, because you need to know it. So there's another thing that I want to talk about. There was this person, and they have sent me those messages 3 times, and I think I should talk about it. So this person was like, he is married and he has kids, but he has a girlfriend, and that girlfriend has got his children. So he has 2 women, and one of them they are legally married, but the other one is a girlfriend. Now, I did not get a chance like to ask him if he's legally married to his wife or whatever, but he was asking, the wife can do a separate application and claim him because that's the wife, and then can the girlfriend do the same application and claim him? Now, that's a tough question, guys, because you are only married to a person if you're legally married. And legally married here in the US means that you have a marriage certificate. But when you go to the African way, you have this thing that people are marrying so many wives. So my thing is, there is no way that you're going to show up in the embassy with 2 women and say that these are my wives and these are whatever, and I want to take them to the US. That one I don't think is going to work, because they follow the rules of here. So I don't want to give the wrong information here, but I think that's a challenge. So that person is going to decide. But what I will do, the wife, the legal wife can claim the husband. But there could be a mistake. Let's assume like the girlfriend applied with the man, and then the wife applied with the man, and then the girlfriend won. Because, I always like to think about the extremes. I don't know if I think beyond, but that's what I like to think about. So you find that if the girlfriend won, and this man belongs to another woman, then they go on processing and everything, there could be a hindrance, because the girlfriend might not have entered the kids for the first wife, for the legal wife, because those kids, if they're stepchildren, they have to be entered there, guys. Maybe the wife will feel bad and he will be like, this person who wants to take my spouse, so I am not going to let them go on with the process. So that's a challenging situation, guys, that, people find themselves in. And you wanna, I think you wanna do more research about that, because for me, I was kind of challenged with that question. I was like, this is a girlfriend or a baby mama or whatever it is, and then this is a wife. Like, there could be a challenge, because the DV lottery requires you to enter even your stepkids. If you had gotten married and you left like 5 kids somewhere, you are supposed to include those children. If you have kids that you have adopted, you are supposed to include them. So that's kind of a tough questions, like when I was looking at it. But I don't have like a specific answer. But for me, I would not. When it comes to the girlfriend issue, sometimes some men who are, they are like, I'm not going to involve all that stuff, because it might bring you problems. I don't know if you guys have heard stories of people winning the DV lottery, and then when they win the DV lottery, they have done everything good, and then someone calls the embassy and they say they left their kids, because people do that. So so that one would be very, 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 very challenging. But that person, wherever they are, I think I think they have a tough thing to think about now. Okay, let's see. So I did that demo. I hope that helps. And if it doesn't help, then send me your stuff. I'm going to do a video on that. Okay. Hello, Charity. I'm Prince from Ghana. Is it good for your photo to be edited by the professional taking the picture, like adding effects to your face or blurring it? No, they should not add effects. The picture should be taken and it should not be blurred or anything. Read the instructions carefully. Read them carefully. Do not blur. Do not add any effects. There's a picture there. If you watch that video that says do not highlight the picture, that's one of the things that they look at. And of course, they don't look at it. That website, that photo thing is very, very sensitive. It detects. Now, there was another person who asked me a question. They were like, Charity, I'm applying, and it is telling me that I have multiple entries. I had said before that the DV lottery is not the more you apply, is the more you win. No, it's not. DV lottery, you only do one application. And if you do multiple applications, it's going to detect your name. It's going to detect your date of birth. Those are identifiers, guys. So just do the application by yourself and be positive on it. If you're married, do the application and let your wife do a separate application and add you and the kids. If you have a child who is below 21 years old, but they have reached 18 years old, let them do their separate application, and the parent can add them because they're still below 21 years old. But remember, the 21 years old, that is if they are not married and if they do not have children. Because if they do have children, they can only do their own separate application. You cannot add them. Because now if you add them, then that means that you'd have to add their kids, of which the DV lottery, it revolves around the nuclear family. So I hope that we are clear on that, guys, and I hope that's good. Okay, so what I was saying, he's saying whatever. So that was about the video. So let's look at Michael Osimbo is asking. I have a friend of mine. I want to apply for him, but he's separating from his wife, and he doesn't want to include the spouse. He only wants to include his kids. What can he go about it? So Michael, now this one, if he wants to separate or if he's separating, that wife has to be included. I hope you saw that form that I read. She has to be included, guys. Because they are separated, they are not divorced. And if you are divorced, you will have to produce that divorce paper there. And of course, it goes beyond, because even if you are divorced, then you will need consent from that parent for you to travel with those kids here in the US. Like, it's something that you have to think about, because there are so many challenges. And I'm praying hard for a lady who had that challenge about kids. And they had to take that document about who is responsible for the kids. I'm going to interview that lady, guys, and you're going to see how it goes, because these things happen. You will need consent from that parent. Like, that's a must. You will. So if they are separating, they will add that person, whether they like it or not, because those are the rules. You have to follow the rules of the DV lottery, guys. Okay. Thank you again, Ma. Can one play the DV lottery using the mobile phone? Yeah, you can. You can use your mobile phone to do that. Can you use small or capital letters? It doesn't matter, guys. It doesn't matter. What I would do, my preference, that's my preference, but I don't think it really matters. You can capitalize the first name, the first word of your name, and then you do the other ones small letters, it's fine. Just the normal way you can do that. If you decide you want to do capital letters, well and good. If you want to do, whatever you want, guys, but make sure that you are following the way it's supposed to go. Okay, I applied the first day, and I am Kenyan time. The internet was very good, because I also applied for my 2 bros and 2 friends. Internet ilikuwa sawa kabisa. Just waiting for the results. Kame, thank you, and I wish you all the best, Michael, for that. As you wait for the results. Okay. Nicholas Kuria is saying, watching from Kenya, hoping to win this time around. I wish you all the best, guys. When it comes to wins, anybody can win. And, that's why I think I kind of like to talk so much about a DV lottery, because, and for those who do not know me, if 10 years ago or 15 years ago, someone would have told me that I would have come to live in the US, I would not have believed it, guys, because I didn't come from a well-up family. I didn't come from place where someone knew people who lived in the US. Nothing. The only people that I knew who lived in the US were the people who went to high school with, and that was it. But I got it, guys. So anybody can win this DV lottery. It's like, I see DV lottery like YouTube, whereby if you want to start a YouTube channel, there is no qualification. You just need to have good internet, and you need to have content. It's not like the job that you need to go through so many people before they hire you. That's how I see DV. It's an opportunity for everybody. And that's why, if you're watching, share it with your friends, share it with everybody, so that they can be able to do the application, because it's a life-changing thing, guys. At my age right now, I have kids. If I was in Kenya right now, I could not have been in school. I could not have gone to nursing school. That's why I'm telling you, try to do the DV lottery. Your life, it might be a life-changing experience for you guys. So Jeff Mochiri, I have 2 kids and a wife. Do I have a passport book for everyone? Now, you don't need a passport for this application. And if you paid attention to the form that I just did right now, it doesn't have the slot for the passport. It doesn't have it, because that one was thrown out. But when you win the DV lottery, you're going to need a passport for you. You're going to need a passport for your wife, and you're going to need a passport for your kids. That one is going to be a must. So that, because in that passport book is when they're going to stamp your visa. When you win your DV lottery, when you go for your interview, your visa will be stamped on that passport. So it's good because I know so many people are going to apply this year because that passport requirement is not there anymore. When they had introduced the passport requirement, most people are not able to apply because they were like, I can't afford even money for the passport. So I'm not going to do the application. But this one is open, guys. You don't need a passport. So many people can do the application. So you don't need that one at this moment. Okay, the other question is Princess Momo. Charity, I'm currently in UAE and I have a child in Uganda. If my photo is correct and the one of my child is wrong, can I be denied? And I think they were continuing to say they need a clarification on something else. Now, your photo, your child's photo, your spouse's photo, they must meet qualifications. If you read back, and I don't want to go back, I need you to go back to that video about the DV lottery photo. Everybody's photo must meet the standards. There is no that this one is for a child and this one is for, no, all of them must meet the standards. And so pay attention to that, guys, because that one is important. Okay, thank you, Ma. That was helpful. So I'm glad that I was able to help you in that form. Okay. Princess Mama is saying, I also need clarity on the name still. If I have first and last name only, no middle name and no family name, in which boxes do I put my name? So you're going to enter your first name, and then you're going to enter the last slot for the last name. And then if you don't have a middle name, you're going to tick on that part that says no middle name. I think, let me add it here and try to show you. It's not going to cost me much to do that. So you're going to enter your, trying to scroll on the document. You're going to enter your last name here. And then you're going to enter your first name here, but your middle name, you're going to click on this part. If you don't have a middle name, and it's going to leave it blank. That's all that you need to do. Okay. And then she has another question here. Also, my academic papers have 3 names, but my passport has only 2 names. Please advise me now. Now this one is not hard because, like I told you guys, my name in my ID was different. My name in my birth certificate was different. My name in my high school certificate was very different. So what I did after we got our DV lottery, and we were lucky because our DV lottery at that time, 8 years ago, we still did not need a passport. So I went and got an affidavit from a lawyer. And that affidavit stated all my names in my documents, my passport, my high school certificates. It stated all the names that I had. And then that's what I went with the embassy. And I remember I went with that to the embassy. And that's what I was using all the time until I changed my name. I changed my name when I became a US citizen. I had stayed all those years without changing my name. Because when I went to change my name when I had come to the US, they told me, if you wait and become a citizen, it's going to free of charge for you to change your name. So you just need an affidavit. An affidavit is a document that you get from a lawyer or from the court to state that all those names are yours. That's all that you need, and you'll be all right. Okay. I was wondering here, Kemu is not a say there are specification that I shouldn't fill the county or district. What should I write? Now, what are you going to write if you are not, if you cannot write that you were born in Nairobi. You cannot write that you were born in Central, because Central is not a city. You see what I mean? So just enter that, and then you should, that's what you should enter, because where else are you going to enter? That's where you were born. What does your passport say? Look at your passport and enter what is on your passport or your ID. Because that's, yes, and I agree. I totally agree that Kiambu is not a city. 100% I do agree. But are you going to say that you were born in Nairobi because Nairobi is a city, or you were born in Kisumu, or you were born in Mombasa? No, you're not going to say that. So you have to enter what's on your document. You have to enter that one, okay? Okay. I have a friend who is not legally married with his partner, but they have 1 child. Tried applying, claiming he's unmarried, included his child, but the option to submit did not advise. What? So, if you have a child and you're married, guys, and I need you to get this clear, there's customary marriage. Now, that one is a marriage. Customary marriage is a marriage. And if you watch my last video, there's a person that I interviewed. Go back to my video and watch the video that I did with Levy. Levy was married to his wife, but they were not legally married. They were married customarily. So when they won the green card, they went and got the marriage certificate. And that's what we did, even us. We didn't have a marriage certificate. And Levy, he just got his green card the other day. So that's a good thing. That's a good example. So he was not legally married, the white wedding, the one that you have a marriage certificate. But when they won the green card, they went and got the marriage certificate. So there is no way that you have a wife you have been living with customarily and you're going to enter that you are unmarried because you are married, guys. Don't mistake those ones. The one that they don't want you to do is you have a girlfriend somewhere and you know deep down in your heart it's your girlfriend and you have not been living together, you don't have kids together, and you enter that is your wife. That's going to be a problem. But if you have lived with this person, and you know, it's something that you can even debate, because like I tell you guys, when you go to the embassy, those are human beings. Yes, you didn't have a marriage certificate, but you were customarily married. You see what I mean? So there is no way that you can say that because I've been living in my wife for 5 years or for 20 years, I am not married. Yes, you are, because diversity is diverse. Diversity means that their customs, their cultures, and they have to be incorporated with all this stuff. And that is why you find that even if you didn't have that marriage certificate and you go and get it, then even if they questioned you, you'll be like, this has been my wife for all this stuff, or for all this time, but I didn't have money to do that wedding. You know, guys, especially in most cultures, before you do that white wedding, there are processes that you have to undergo with the parents. You have to pay dowry, you have to do all that. Now here in the US, that doesn't happen. When you get married, you get married. You don't need to go through the parents or whatever. No. So if you are married, guys, regardless of whether you have that marriage certificate or not, you have to enter that you are married, because you cannot leave your spouse behind. Because what will you explain? You cannot go to the embassy and say that I applied a marriage because I didn't have a marriage certificate. No. You'd rather say you are married, get the marriage certificate like you will. Of course, they will ask you, when were you married? They will ask you that question. And it is not going to go along with what's on your marriage certificate. Then you will tell them, we didn't have the marriage certificate, but we had been married customarily. But when we won the DV lottery, then, because this was a requirement, we went and got it. You see what I mean? So you have to be very clear on that, guys. That's a good question. It's a very, very good question. Okay. Hello, Charity. I want to apply for my younger ones, and they are in Africa while I live in diaspora. So my question is, can I fill my address since they don't live, they don't have an address, no postal address? No, don't fill your address. Look for an address there for an uncle, friend, whatever. Put it, enter it there, because they still do not live in the diaspora. And then after they have won their DV lottery, when they're filling out their DS-260, you will give them your address so that they can use that. So that's a good question. And it's good to apply for your siblings. Even me right now, I'm applying for my siblings. So it's good to apply for them. But what I'm doing is that when I'm applying for my brothers and sisters, I am using an address. They don't have a physical address. And that's a good question. So we are using an address for the church. That's what they gave me. So that's what I entered for the address. But of course, I wrote in care of and all that stuff. So you can do that, but don't use your address, because they are not living in that locality for that letter. Okay, let's see. Help her not lost. Charity, I have a question. I have a cousin who has a kid. She has never got married. What will she feel when applying? Now she's going to apply that she is single and that she will have that child. But what I would do is that, because they will ask about that the other parent, then I would get sole custody of that child. And that's what I told you guys. Like, be proactive. It's good to be proactive, guys. Like, get all custody, and you would have those problems. Okay. Hi, Mom. I applied for my. This is Vincent, and we put in God. Thanks for your videos too. Kansas awaits for us. Yeah, guys. You know, I can't, you know, if one day, when the day that I will go to meet someone in the embassy because they have won a DV lottery, I will be so happy, guys. Okay, hello, Charo. Can you please tell me if the photo tool on the DV website is 100% accurate? Yes, it is. It's 100% accurate, like 100%. The photo must meet the qualifications, guys. That one is accurate. That's what they have there. So it's accurate. Okay, hello, Charity. A friend wants to apply a single. The habit is very toxic. Oh my goodness. The problem is that the kid's birth certificate carries the dad's name. What can she do? What she can do, she cannot apply a single because she's married. Unless they have a divorce. And if they are separated, he will still have to include that man in there. And, you know, when you talk about toxicity, I see a person when you win the DV lottery, they move heavens for you not to get that. Because, you know, there are so people who are so malicious. And they're like, you got it. You're not going to go. So this one is kind of whatever. But unfortunately, that's her husband. She has to include her. Even if they are separated, he has to be included. Unless they are divorced and he has that divorce certificate, guys. Yeah, like that one is It's clear when you read at the instructions. And I did read those instructions for you guys. Those instructions are clear, capiche, and that's it. That's what the clarification I'll fill in. Yes, do that, because that's where you are born, guys. That's where you're born. Okay. So Boateng Prince, hello. If you're officially stable, can you get a place to stay in case you get a visa, or would I still need a host? Now, you can, like, if you have a lot of money, but you will still need a host. And this is the thing. You're coming from somewhere and you're coming to a very new thing. It's like when you're hired in a new job. When you're hired in a new job, there is no way that you are gonna go to that job and you don't have orientation. So you will still need a host as your orientee, someone to show you, this is the store. This is how we drive. We drive in the opposite way. I think we drive is it in the left or in the right? Whatever, we drive in a different way. These are the roads. This is where you go to get your social. You will need that person, guys. So you will need a host. But you can say, I only need a host as a guidance, but I have my money. But still, if you want to rent your own house, you will still need your host to help you out, because you don't have history. Because when you go to rent a house here, they look at your history. Sometimes they even look at your credit. So a host is vital. It's very, very vital. But you can say, I only need my host to guide me, but I have my assets. I have my money. So, and of course, you have to prove that this is what I have in my bank account. If you have a fatter bank account, that's well and good. But you will still need a host. The thing that you won't need from the host is the form I-134. That affidavit of support, that is what you will not need. But you will still need an address from a host, because where will you go? You cannot just land in the airport and ask for an Uber and whatever. You still need guidance, guys. And of course, if you say that I'm going to go and stay in a hotel, it's well and good, but you need an address, guys. It's important for you to have an address. So yes, you can request a host, and if you have enough money, then you don't need to ask them for the form I-34, because you have proof that you can support yourself. That's fine. But a host is a must. That one you have to get a host, because you need a guide, guys. You do need a guide. So, Pastor Bola, hi Charity, thank you for that. Okay, kindly advise, Janet, if it is valid. Kindly advise, is it valid if a kid open his mouth while taken on DV photo? A 2-year-old? No, it's not. A 2-year-old can sit still. Just try to distract them, and for them to sit still for you to take the picture. If the child is below 6 months, then that one, even if the baby closes the eyes, if it's an infant, that one they really don't mind. But a 2-year-old, they'll need to sit still. Look at that video for the photo, and you will see. Okay. Hi Charity, can I and my husband apply at the same time at the same cyber? Yes, you can. There's no problem with that. Okay. Hello Charity, the DB photo lottery checker 100%. I used it to verify my sister's photos, and it showed they meet the DV lottery requirements. I'm so positive with this DV 2024. Yes, it's accurate, guys. It's accurate. As long as it tells you it's 100%, you're good to go, because that's what they're using, guys. So that's what you should use. Okay. Okay. Charity, you only speak for DV 2024. When are you going to speak for DV 2023 year? Now, the DV 2023 year, I can speak about it, tell you how to fill out the DS260. I can also tell you, you can also ask me questions about DV 2023, and I'm going to talk about that. I am talking about DV 2024 right now, because this is the month of filling out the DV lottery, guys. So I can do that, Pastor Bola, I can do that. And then my birth certificate has 4 names, but all my academic certificates has 3. Is there any problem? No. Like I said, that one is an affidavit. Applied yesterday. And Komuli, Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you, Daniel, for that. And then there is Druli from YouTube. I just want to say thank you, guys. So I really appreciate your question. I really do appreciate your question. So guys, if you have a question, type it there. I'm going to look in my phone and see if I have more questions about the DV lottery. But I hope that I was able to answer everything that you guys needed. I'm trying to look at my scrolling here to see if I have anything else. And then let me look at my phone for the past videos. That was good. That was really, really good. So now, this one is asking the passport. You don't need the passport, guys. You don't need the passport. And it's good. You know, sometimes you will put a question there for me, and you see like I haven't answered it. It's because I've talked about it in a video. Because several times I've said about the passport, and that's why you need to share, because people don't need a passport to do the application. That's why you need to share. 56 people watching. Guys, like my video. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly consider subscribing. Kindly share my video and share this information. Okay. And like I said, do not do double entries, guys. Don't do double entries. And remember, you must have good network, guys, when you're doing the application. There is no way that if you have bad network, it's not gonna work. It doesn't work with bad network. So you have to do that. Okay, another question. Hapo kwa mailing address. How am I supposed to fill in? Kindly assist. At the beginning of this video, I did do the form. So go back to this video. It's still gonna be on. I'm gonna put it on, and then you're gonna see how I did the mailing address part. Okay. What is a DV lottery checker? Let me tell you what's a DV lottery checker. I like to, if you ask me something that I don't have a whatever, I don't have a perfect answer, I will Google it. Now, a DV lottery checker is that photo checker, whatever. The one that you put your photo to make sure that it's good. That's your checker. Okay. Okay. When I'm going to fill the form, my name is the first name or the last name, please. Your name is my name is Charity. That's my name. My last name is my husband's, Nganga. So I hope that helps. So my name is, my first name is Charity. I have a middle name and I have my husband's name or my dad's name. So the last name should be either for your dad or your family name. That's your last name. You know, even me, I used to have that problem about the first and last name. Okay, Tama Rachel, when you write married and there is no marriage certificate, then you win. During the interview, will they ask for the photos of wedding? No, they will not. They don't go beyond there. And guys, I tell you, like, DP lottery is different. If you have, because when you win, they will give you a list of the things that they will require from you. If you have given all those things, even if you got your marriage certificate after you won, because most people do that, because guys, you know how expensive a wedding is. You know mine, if I tell you the wedding that I didn't even do a wedding. I went to church during Mass, and then during the Mass season, we went and we'd say our vows there for like 10 minutes, and that was it. We didn't even have a party or anything. We couldn't afford at that time, guys. So they will not ask for the photos of your wedding. The time that they ask for the photos of your wedding, I know where that question is coming from, is if you are going to look if you're going to be sponsored by a spouse, like someone lives in the US and they are US citizen, or they are a US legal permanent resident, and they want to marry a non-citizen or a non-legal permanent resident, or maybe someone else from another country. They want to marry them as a spouse, or they are claiming them as a wife. Now, that one, they look at history. They will ask you for photos of the wedding, especially if they have a doubt that you are lying. Because some people lie. You know, that some people are like, oh, I'm just going to marry her, I get the papers, and then I get out. Now, that one is different. And that's why I normally like to tell you guys that you have to understand, and I think I should do, I know I've done a video about marriage. I think I'll put it forward on my videos as a suggestion so that you guys can watch it. Now, that question comes up if you're marrying someone, you're a US citizen, and you're marrying someone, and they have a doubt that that marriage is a real marriage, or if it's not, or if it's a marriage that you want just to get the papers and then you get out. That one they will ask. But if it's a DV lottery, you go, you give the marriage certificate. Maybe you have kids, you go with your kids. They don't ask you more than 5 questions, guys. You don't get so many questions for DV lottery. Go watch that video for Levy. They weren't asked so many questions. They were asked less than 4 questions, and they were good. And I remember we were only asked 3 questions, and that was it. But if it is a different kind of visa, because there are different kinds of visa, some of them you have to prove beyond reasonable doubt, because people are not honest. There's some people, I don't like talking about that topic because it really pisses me off, because I'm like, how do you marry someone? Like, you come to the US, you get married to someone, and then when you get to the papers, you just dump them. You know, that's not good. For me, I have never agreed to it. I don't know, for some reason, maybe I've experienced people who have been done like that. They've been they're US citizens, and then someone marries them, and you know, you go along with the marriage. You know when you establish a relationship with someone, or when you're living with someone, there's that, there is that bonding that comes in. But then you find that after those 3 years or 5 years, then when that person becomes a US citizen or they get legal permanent resident, they divorce you or they dump you. I've never agreed to that, guys. I know that it's a sensitive topic when I talk about it as an African. Most people say that I say that because I came here with a green card, but I don't find it fair. Like, there is no way like you can marry someone for papers. Like, that's wrong. So if you're doing that, then they will want to know that it's true, and that's when that they ask for photos of wedding. They even ask about relatives. Like, those are complex, guys, and some of them people need lawyers to do those ones. Like, they're just hard, guys. They're hard. And for me, what I know, and I have got kids, and that's why, like, I'm very vocal about it. I would not want my daughter or my son to marry someone and that person is in there because they want papers. Like, I would, oh no, that would be wrong. And I would move anything to make sure that it doesn't happen, because it's wrong. I've watched someone have a spouse, they've lived for so many years, and the moment that spouse got their citizenship, divorce, they left that person. That's wrong. Like, it's a bad thing. So that's when it comes in, Rachel. But it's not going to come in when you have won your DV lottery. I know I'm digressing a little bit. All right, guys. So Rachel Shiro, hi Charity. The name in my birth certificate reads Rachel, and my ID reads Rachel. And the birth certificate is also different from ID. How will I go about it? You just need to write the name that is on your, I think, on your birth certificate, because your birth certificate is the one that you will use to go to to get your passport, because you need that. But still, I think even when you go to get your passport, you'll need an affidavit, because I got my affidavit before I got my passport, because they asked about it. They were like, these are different names, because my ID was wrongly spelled. Like, everything of mine was just a mess. So I had to get that affidavit even before I got my passport, so that even in the passport office, they could verify that I was the true person who was asking for the passport. So you will need that affidavit, and you'll be good to go. Okay. Should I apply for a green card with a conviction of 12 years ago? So I hope, and I hope this question goes with another question that I was asked by a viewer. They were like, can I apply a green card lottery? Is it going to affect my son, and my son is on drugs? So when you go to fill out the DS-260, the DS-260 is the form that you fill out after you have won your green card lottery. It's got those questions about felonies. And before even you fill out your DS-260, or even before you go to the embassy, you have to go and be cleared to get the police clearance form. You have to get that one. So if in your record there is that you have been jailed for something bad, or maybe you have done child trafficking, or maybe if you are on drugs, because drugs come up, there's a question about drugs, then you may be, I'm not saying that you may be disqualified on those grounds, because they don't want someone who is a drug addict to come, It's like, and I normally say, like, DV lottery, even after you have won, and that's why they're saying that being selected is not a must, that you'll come to the US, or even getting a visa is not a must. Because even you as an individual, there is no way that you are going to invite someone in your house and you truly know that that person is not a good person. You are not going to do that. As an individual, you will not do that. So if you have a bad history, how bad was it? Because you will have to enter that information in the DS-260. And if you had a bad record, when you go to get your police clearance from the CID, it's not going to be a good one. And if you have a bad one, there is no way that you will get that visa. And that, some people get disqualified of those things, because those things are there. When you look at the DS-260, even if you upload it like that right now and look at it, it has those questions. It's going to ask you about drug trafficking. It's going to ask you about drugs. It's going to ask you about money laundering. It's going to ask you about so many things, guys. If you have been jailed or you have been convicted of something bad, it's going to ask all that. And what I know is that when you go to get your police clearance form, they do a background check there to see, is this person clean, before they give it to you. And then they give it to you, you have to take it to the embassy. So if it's not a good one, of course, they are not going to give you a visa. No, they will not give you a visa. So some of these things, you will be prompted to answer them in your DS-260, and you have to answer them truthfully and then sign there. But if you have a very bad history, you will not get it, guys. And it's good to talk the truth. So my ID, my mom's name instead of my dad's name, is there any problem? No, your last name is your last name. There is no problem. Hi, Charity. What are the chances of winning? If at all you follow the instructions, it's a sure thing, considering the fact that this year the number of applicants will increase. Now, the DV lottery has 55,000 visas. Okay, that includes of the primary applicants and their families and everything. So Your chance of winning, I would say, like in Africa, is one into 4, I think. So it's not a very high chance. It's there, guys, but it's not 100% chance that you're going to win the DV lottery. No, it's not. But if I won, guys, give it a benefit of doubt. Don't worry about the numbers. The numbers should not worry you. If myself, I got the DV lottery, I know anybody can get it. Because even mine was just by chance, guys. I remember even when we were doing the application, my husband was like, oh, that one is not viable. It doesn't work. But we still won the DV lottery, even with all those odds. I tell you guys, like if you like there is nowhere, even if we were to be handpicked, that I would have won the green card lottery. So it doesn't matter the numbers. It doesn't matter even if it's 1% or if it's 0.05%. No, it does not matter. Fill out the DV lottery and hope for the best, because people win the DV lottery. They do win the DV lottery. It doesn't matter, but they do. Okay. What when applying you're single, by God's chance you win, and you have already married after the application. Now, the DV lottery, what it doesn't like is you adding people. It doesn't like, if you got married maybe before you won, that's a different case. But if you won and then you got married, then they will ask you more questions. I'm not saying that they will deny you, but they don't like you adding people there. They don't like it. Like that's one thing, that if you add more people there, that is gonna, if either you add people or you do not add, or you leave some people out when you're doing application, that one is a different case, and that would be like something that may prompt them not to give you the visa. So what I would do is that if I applied for a single, to avoid like so many things, I would just go process it and everything, and then when I am here, then I would get married and then I would apply for my spouse. That happens. But they don't like people adding people, because most people you win the DV lottery and then people get married and then they add you. Now that one is like the one that I was telling you about, the marriage, that you marry someone and you want papers. That one it's not like 100%, but they might think that person, they got married after winning because to benefit. They might think like that. So the best thing is not to add anyone there. Thanks a lot, people, and we hope for the best. Yeah, I hope for the best. I'm going to read the last comments here very fast, because it's already been 1 hour. How can I get the right link? When you look at my banner down there, there's a banner that is going down on my video here. It says DV program, https dvprogram.state.gov. That is the website, guys. Google that website and do your application. So, hi, Madam Charity. Thanks for the information. I am glad that I was able to help. I want to read the last comments here very fast. Hi, can we edit the photo in Photoshop? No, don't edit that photo. Make sure that it's a 2x2, and then you put it there, and then make sure that that photo tool accepts it, because you want to do don't do shortcuts. Green card doesn't have shortcuts. And when you come to the US, guys, there's something that I want to tell you. Like when you come to the US, there are so many things that will change about you. Like so many things. Like those shortcuts that people have, those ones, they stop. Like you have to be straight, and you have to do like the way it's supposed to be done. Because if you don't do it, then you don't get it, because it has been explained there in their website. Like you do it the way it's supposed to be. Okay. How long does it take for the DV lottery results to be announced? It's going to be announced on May the 6th of next year. What about if you're working in Saudi Arabia and you have called for an interview? Now, if you're working somewhere else, when you win the DV lottery, they send you that email for your interview. Of course, remember you indicated the country that you live in. They normally have given you instructions on where your embassy is going to be. They have that information. So depending on where you are, they will advise you accordingly, because this stuff is on an individual basis. And when you come to live in the US, you'll find that everything is individualized. You see, like the way when we are in Africa, like if there's a family, most of the stuff like goes to the man. He's the one who like takes care of it. Here is kind of like individualized, whereby if it's your things, you do them like kind of separately. It's like you have your social, you have everything. So there are some things that kind of individualize you from your spouse, and the other things that still individualize you from your kids, especially when you have that social. It's the same thing. So the DV lottery is individualized. So they will advise you accordingly when you win your DV lottery. So you should not worry about that. Okay. During the interview, they require the grade or you have your certificate on your note. They don't have that information. They haven't asked for that information. And if it is not, what I say, if it's not there, it's not there. So they haven't stated that this is the grade that you should get. No. Stella Manda, a friend typed NA and a zip code below mailing address. Will this jeopardize the chance? No, it's not going to. We are many today. Please like video. Eliza Shiro is championing for me. Please like my video, guys. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe. And guys, I thank you for watching the video that I did for application for the DV lottery. That video has been watched so many times. It's reached over 20,000 views, guys. I really do appreciate you for appreciating what I am doing. In Kenya only, how many visas are given? I can do a video on that. Just look at the data and see like the people who got for the DV. The one that ended was DV 2022. So I can look at the data and then I can do a video on that. Okay, please tell me how we can make a perfect photo. Now, this perfect photo, I need you to go to a professional photographer to go and do your photo. Go to a professional photographer, do your photo, you'll be good to go. Charity, good job and God bless you. I'm trying to finish these comments because I don't like leaving anybody. Okay, about the passport, same photo for children. No. Now, this one is important. Don't use the photo for last time. It can be more than 6 months old. They want to see you the way you are currently. So if you use the last one, that one is not good. Don't do that. So there is no passport that is needed. Yeah, you'll have a chance to win. I talked about that. Okay, this one is saying, good work, Charity. My husband can't wait to join Mr. Nga and they work together. He loves his videos very much. Say hi to him. And for my husband, I have already applied. I'm praying to win. Yeah, thank you for that. Okay. Hi, Charity. Is it true that they are preferring Afghanistan in 2023? They say they will select 55,000 people. Yeah, they will. That's the number that comes in. Khalil Khan. But when you look at the countries that qualify, go to that video and look at the countries that qualify, because there are so many that qualify, and see if Afghanistan is there. Go look if Afghanistan is there, and then you will see. And I don't know if I'm able to look. Maybe I can. Let me see. Let me take you off here and see if I'm able to look. If I'm able to see it, then I will look here and see if Afghanistan is there. Hold on. The country of birth is in A. So Afghanistan is there. Yeah, here it is. It's the first one, actually. It's the first one. If you look at the list of the countries that qualify, it's there. So you can do your application. But that doesn't mean that Afghanistan gets 55,000 visas. No. Every region gets 5%. And that's why I like to read the visa bulletin, so that you look at your case number and then you gauge yourself. This is where I am. I'm at 50,000. Maybe my visa will be likely. I'll be likely to get my second notification letter at this time. So that's what they look at. So let's see. Daniel Muli, what else can make a photo be disqualified? Go to that video, guys. Okay, I got legally married in 2014. In the year 2016, my husband applied as single. We have both applied now as married. With this early application affect our ability? Now, they don't look at the past. If you didn't win, you didn't win. That one is, they don't look at that. Okay. Okay, now Dennis Kimani still has doubts. Now, I don't know how to help you anymore, but there is no way that you're going to say that you were born in Nairobi if you were not born in Nairobi. You are not going to say that, guys. You will not. Or you will say that you were born in Kisumu whereby you are not born in Kisumu. No, you can't say that, Okay. So they require city. Now, and what I can say about this question is that here in the US, every like here we live in Wichita, it's a city. If you go to another place, it's a city. And yes, they want us, but I want you to interpret it in your own way, whereby this is where I was born. Like, which is the largest place that I can go? If you were born in Central and you were born in, like, you can go to Nyeri, you can go to Kiambu, you can go to wherever. That's what I would put, because you wanna put a place that is very, very near. So if you do not want to put Kiambu as your city, then I don't know what else you're gonna put, because that's what I would put, because that's where I was born. There is no way Nairobi. I know they say Nairobi City, they say Kisumu City, they say Mombasa City. Yes, I agree. What if you were not born in those areas? What if that's not what your passport says? Because there's something that your passport says. So very, very, very important for you to do that. Okay, I have a child and I'm not in the country where my child is. I am not in good terms with the mother. Then the mother refused to give me the child photo passport. What can I do? Oh my God, this is hard. For Stephen, I just convince them and see if they can because you know, family dynamics are hard, guys. Family dynamics are very, very hard. Sometimes, you know, I read these questions and I'm very, very sad. And what I can tell you guys is that I think coming to the US has really opened up my eyes and seeing that when you are in a relationship with someone and you don't agree, please do not bring your children in there. Do not let your children suffer because of your disagreement, because this is what happens. Like when you look at this question has a lot of weight. Mm? And you find that here in the US is different, and that's something that I really learned. And I was like, even if you are not agreeing, you're not talking to each other, don't bring your kids in there, because she's saying that the mother has refused with the passport. Why? Which mother wouldn't want their child to go to the US? Which mother or father would not give consent for their child to go to the US even if they don't want to go? Why do we drag our kids in our stuff? You know what I mean? Like, it's wrong. It's just very wrong. And it's an eye opener, guys, that even if you're having problems with someone, that's your child. That's your child. Do what is the best for your child. You don't care about your spouse, that's fine. That's an adult. They can take care of themselves. But that vulnerable child, do not bring hindrances and all that. Because sometimes I read these comments, I'm like, it's sad. It's so sad, guys. So for because there's another one who told me they won the DV lottery, and the man just completely he refused to give consent. He refused to give consent, although that person was they went ahead and they went to court, they got consent and everything, because they've been taking care of that child, and they were able to get all that stuff in order. So don't do that. Like, that's wrong, because I'm like, really, like, why are you doing that? Okay, thanks for the good work, Charity. We have more than 3 to 4 DV photo checkers. Which is the best you can advise? Go to the one for the travel.state.gov, and actually when you're doing your application, it's up there. No, you will not be disqualified, Dennis Kimani. Just put that one. When you're disqualified, you come and ask me. I'll still be here doing my YouTube videos. Can I make a photo with my name, with my phone, and then put a background, white background? You can even take the photo with your phone, but make sure that it is the same measurements. It has to be the same measurements, guys. Okay, I'm supposed to sing I Win, and my host he's a guy we met online, dating site. Can you need to Avisa deny? No, as long as they give you their address. But there's something that I want to talk about, like these online things. You have to be very, very, very sure that the person that you are communicating with is a good person. I hope you guys saw that story online for that girl who was dating someone online, and then they came here in the US and they disappeared. I hope you watch those stories, because those stories, they're there to teach and to educate, guys. You have to be safe. The first thing is safety. I'm going to this person. Do I know them? Do I know, like, do I know what they stand for? Because you'd rather struggle looking for a host. Maybe look for someone, like maybe they have a family or anything, they host you, instead of going to an individual that you do not know what they do. Because you might go into a trap. You have to be very careful with these online dating. Like, you have to be careful, guys. So I cannot stress so much on that. Thanks a lot. Jerima Batando, can I apply without a passport and win? I've talked about that. Comment on the scenario where you married, but you have not legalized your union. I've talked about that. When I check the photo, it shows, yeah, that one is a good one. I talked about that. I talked about the photo. Okay, Dennis Kimani, you'll be fine. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Okay. My ID last name was my mom's instead of my dad's. Is there a problem with that? No, it's not. Or maybe you can feel unknown. This one is telling you feel unknown. It's fine. Charity, I had a child with my ex. She uses the dad's name. Will I need his consent during the interview? Yes, you will. Please help me. My photo in the gallery is that, but in the photo shows 600 by 600. It has to be 600 by 600. It has to be the right, whatever. Check it on the photo tool and see if it's gonna work. What if I know nobody? Guys, I didn't know anybody when I came to the US. Like, when we won our DV lottery, I had no relative, nobody to help me out, but we still got a host, guys. We got a host. So don't worry about that. Cross that bridge when you reach it. And so many people are writing to me. They're like, oh, Charity, I don't have a host. What will I do when I win the DV lottery? What I can tell you is, don't worry about it. Wait until you win your DV lottery. And then after that, then we're going to talk about that later. So guys, it's been good. It's been nice. It's 1 hour, 13 minutes, 57 seconds. And I'm going to end this live show. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for asking questions. And if you have any more, please don't hesitate to write them down there. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Don't forget to share my videos, like my video. I tell you guys, when you like the video, it takes, it gives it bumps it up, guys. So thank you for everything. I'm gonna do more consecutive videos, especially on DV 2023, and that's it. So I'm gonna do another video and talk about more questions that I see here. So thank you guys, and God bless you.